everyone, Agotapop has just sent me her new sheet of Tiny's Pumpkin Town, and they are gorgeous. I've only had a very quick look, but I'm going to have a look with you and then we'll colour one. So pumpkins, it feels like we're getting very autumnal, spooky season's on its way, but I think you don't have to be thinking sort of Halloweeny for this particular, this one. It just is a little house and a swing and flowers and things, you know, it looks very cute. Regardless, oh, let's go there and you can see that one as well. This one looks like two, one on top of the other, got a lovely little leaf in between. I think that's really sweet. And then coming up to this one, this feels to me like it goes right across because the grass and stone, so we've got a sort of larger picture here, but still with little elements. So we've got our little pumpkin house, some toadstools, and then a couple more here with some fairy lights. And then we have this one here with the lamp outside, and then this one with a witch's hat on, really cute, very, we're sort of definitely getting a Halloween vibe with that one. I shall turn over and we'll start again at the top. Sorry, I move it too fast and get all seasick. There we go, just trying to get it in the middle of the shot. So this one's got two little log steps up to the front door, more windows and lamps and flowers, and again stone steps on this one. So they're all a little bit different, they've all got their own little personality, which I really like, different characters. And this one we've got a little fence and a giant leaf and some berries. Ooh, lovely. And we've got toadstools and things on this one. And then our bottom one is more of a long one, like the center one on the other page. So we've got a lovely flower here, but we've got a little conker plant pot with a log, and then this one's got one behind. We've got sort of bunting and things like that on that one. The second page, go back up to the top. There we go. Again, this one is a continuous picture, so we have two houses and a watering can in the middle, which is really sweet. Lots of autumn leaves and things like that going on. And then this one, a large pumpkin house, a little one there, that's so cute. And then one with a bucket, or maybe, I thought cauldron, but it isn't, this is probably a bucket. And then we have one with acorns roofs, which is really, really cute, and more berries. And then one with lots of flowers and a wind catcher. Is that what it's called? Dream catcher, that's what it's called. Oh my goodness. Now this page is real tiny, so they're much smaller. So we have a sort of acorn house. We have a boat with probably an acorn inside it. We have a double layered house again. And then we have a pair of toadstools, a little acorn cup on a stool. It says tea, a set of books. Here we have a very special looking key with a sort of branchy top and some berries. And then a door. Oh, I do like colouring doors. Doors with mushrooms, oak leaves, that sort of thing. This is an apple house, I think, with the pumpkin by the side. Very small pumpkin or giant apple. Then we have another one with berries, caught my eye, leaves, and then this one looks like a kettle or teapot. I'm thinking probably kettle. Okay, I think we've done the other side of this one. Yes. So the last page is one great big design, so something you can really bury yourself into, get your teeth into. It's quite hard to see, I know, with me zoomed out like this. So we've got fields and pumpkins and a sort of pumpkin here that we can see inside with all the inside of the house and books, and it's a sort of, some of it looks like bits and pieces from the other pictures all put together. It's just lovely, and even though it's a big picture, it's so easy to break it down into small elements. So I think that would be a sweet one to do as well. So I'm going to colour one for you now, And I'm going to pick, as you may guess, one of the smaller designs, just so it's a little bit speedier. Whoops. I'm just putting the spare sheets away. I need a book to lean on. I happen to have one here. A few pieces of paper underneath so I don't indent the back of my book. Let's get myself organised. Now I've got my Staedtler Agotapop pencils in here, so I'm going to use those because they're here, but also I think they'll be a good choice for this paper. This is my printer paper. It's not the best. Now I haven't said, but these are available on Agata's Etsy shop. I will include the link in the video description. I quite like the look of this little boat. So yes, I'll include the link in the video description, but I'm just trying to find the right sort of colour for the 54. Yeah, I'm going to use the 54 for the water to start with. Staedtler Design Journey. Yes, so they're available on your Etsy shop. I'll put the link in the description, and if you use there's a link, if you use my link you can get 10% off. So, or you can put Rachel 10 in at checkout and get 10% off. It's a little deal that Agata's does from my community, which is very kind of her. She did tell me she was doing something for Halloween. I don't know if this is it or whether something else, and she said for Christmas as well. So she asked me for some suggestions for Christmas, and I asked her if she could do an advent calendar. She's got a few. She's actually got one that I haven't done, but it's always nice to have another one, isn't it? So that's my base of my water. I'm going to grab this colour. This is the number 35. I'm going to sharpen it if I can find my sharpener. Thankfully, yes. And put in a little bit of darker colour in some areas just to make it look, fade that up there. Put a bit in here just where I think it might be a bit darker. And then we'll go back to our original colour and go back over it because I feel it needs another layer. So this is the 54, just in case you're colouring along. These are very cute. I'd actually got some of Agata's pictures out to colour from Tiny Year this afternoon, and then she emailed me this, so I'm doing this first and then we're going to go and do some of her designs from Tiny Year. So oh, that made me jump. My printer, when it's after it's printed, it sort of stays awake and then it goes into standby mode, and it just did that, and it sort of slides the print heads back into a position, and it made me jump. I'm just going to go over those darker areas with the 359. I don't think they're quite dark enough. It's not really showing up enough for my liking. I may have saturated the paper a bit too much. But this is just my printer paper. It doesn't take masses of layers. I'm going to do a darker bit under here too. I hadn't done that before. I sort of picked one that wasn't Halloweeny, that wasn't pumpkin-y, even though it's Pumpkin Town. It's a bit naughty of me, really, but I'm not quite in the mood for number 7. Too much in the way of autumn colouring yet. I've just finished one that was quite autumnal, so I felt like doing something a bit more neutral. So of course you could make this autumnal by making the leaves autumn leaf colour, but I won't be. I do have videos on how to do autumn leaves, so if that's something you do want to do, and I'm sure I'll do some more. I'm guessing, I don't know for sure because I haven't planned some of my autumn colouring, but I've got one next to me but I can't even remember which picture oh, no, I didn't do that bit. Don't colour that bit. Never mind. So now I'm going to use 76 to finish off my boat and give it a sharpen. We're going to do the bit at the back here. I think this will be more shadowy. So I'm going to do this with all 76. Like that. I'm trying to make it a bit darker near the bottom, but it's not really showing up. Yeah. Now, Agata's downloads are available in a black, which is what I printed this in, but also a grey, so it prints in a fainter way. So that means that if you want to try and eliminate her black lines when you colour, you can do that more easily by printing. I'm going back to my 7 by using the grey printed one rather than the black. So it's a little something that could be useful. So yeah, if you like eliminating the white lines, some people do, don't they? It's something I have tried, I've played with. I've done it just recently. 77 is the really dark brown. I'm going to use it for the acorn base and this stalk. Yeah, I never quite feel that I've mastered it or that it looks as good as I'd hoped. When I see other people's where they've whited out the lines, it looks really neat and nice. And mine, you know, the white pen looks a bit, you can see it. You can see where things have been erased. You know, the pencil hasn't taken properly on it, or it's scratched off a bit, or isn't coloured completely, or something like that. And I just don't feel that I have mastered it very well. So I don't tend to do it very much. So I'm trying to do the bits where these are overlapping a little bit darker, so it looks a little bit more 3D. Just a little. There we go. Now we've got this stick behind, we've got the mast. I think I used this colour for the mast. It would make sense that it would be a stick, wouldn't it? There we go. Now that stick I'll do in the 76. It looks a little bit different. I guess this is the rudder. Not sure, not completely sure. There we go. Now I was going to do this sort of string, but there's one there, but this looks like it's just the stem. Let's do the leaves and think about that in a bit. What colour should we do? I'm going to do this one quite dark. So this one, that's this. Well, they're both the sale, aren't they? 579. I'm going to give it a sharpen. I'm going to texture it up a tad. So do a bit darker here at the base and a bit lighter towards this line. And same on that one. So here, layer it, less layers, hardly any layers, soft touch. Yeah. And it's quite a quick process, but it gives you, I think it makes them look a little bit more shapely somehow. It's so sunny. We're supposed to have thunder, torrential rain, and the sun is just shining through. It's quite funny. But anyway, we need the rain. The gardens are desperate, and the rivers, and the water supply, everything needs it. We're not officially in drought, but we might as well be. I think the only reason we're not is because our particular water company seems to have managed water very well and has good reservoirs. Other parts of the country are, but it has been, I think our part of the country is one of the ones that's had the least amount of rainfall this sort of spring summer time. Right, this is the number 57. for this leaf. I'm going to colour it in a really similar way because I think that worked quite well. You can layer them up more, so if you want to see more of a contrast, you can put a darker shade of colour at the bottom and then a lighter one at the top. You could go 57, 56, 17, something like that, but I think this is enough. There we go. I'm trying to think about what colour to do the sort of ribbons, flags or bunting, whatever they might be called. Not really sure. Because I think a nice earthy tone would work best. I'm wondering about sort of orangey type colour maybe. My stomach is gurgling, shush. Goodness. The Indian red actually, 722. I'm going to use that. There it is. 722. I think it will add, it's an earthy red. You'll see what I mean when I put it down, sharpen it. And I think it will just add a touch of brightness. Looks like I didn't completely colour in that mast. I can attend to that in a minute. Without it being, you know, I don't think a scarlet red would have really worked, you know. So it's just a sort of subtle brightness. Am I making sense? Probably not. Now, so back to that mast, which was 77. You would have done this bit. You don't need me to do it. Tell you how to do it because you probably haven't missed it out. I'm going to use the number 16 for this little bit here and this little bit here, and there we are. Very quick, hopefully not too rushed, but just showing you a few ideas of how you could do it and how quick it can be if you want it to be. You know, as I say, you could spend a lot longer on it doing a lot more different things, but I really enjoyed that little, you know, 15 minutes or whatever it was to colour one little picture. It was lovely. There we go. So all the information you need is in the video description. Please do like, subscribe, follow, and also if you do go to Agata's Etsy shop, mark her as one of your favourites. That's what I always do. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a super day and happy colouring.